Caleb and Ping, but we're doing things a little differently with this one. Welcome, Academy. Yours truly, as always. Right,
Here's another one.
here's another one. We've been paying attention, but we'll avoid some of the other more toxic pod conversations. This is something we're gonna do as more of a conversational pod, if you will, video pod. If you're watching on YouTube, but hopefully this will end up on Spotify too. You can listen to it in the car or whatever. But we just wanted a way to kind of talk about all of the random stuff in between in the news, the rumors, and all that sort of stuff.
Y'all act like y'all like podcasts so much anyway, so.
Hold on. I let you speak.
I'm gonna let
Sweetheart,
you speak. Go ahead.
I let
Go
you
ahead.
speak, but you gotta let me.
Yeah, we won't be doing those. We won't be talking about those types of things on this podcast.
No. It will just be, look, news and rumors, but all the stuff that we normally talk about, the anime, the MCU, music, all the usual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kicking it off when we do these, we're gonna hit it off with the news and rumor segment first, if you will, because as we know, there's always something to be talked about, and there's always something to be rumored about, especially. So, what we got first?
First up on the rumor mill is Madam Web early reviews being absolutely terrible.
Oh man, you hate to see it. You really do, but also it's Sony, so it almost feels kind of expected a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, they need to quit doing this with IPs and just these Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man aren't really the move.
I mean, it is, and again, it's early reviews. We haven't seen it yet. Maybe we'll go and see it and we'll like it, but it does early on feel like another case of, did anybody ask for this?
No, they didn't.
Were you asking for this, any of y'all? I didn't think so. No, but I don't know. I mean, there's some hope. I have more hope for Madam Web than I did for Morbius. I mean, for whatever that's worth.
They're saying it's the same. They're saying that it's like that. That's the problem.
Oh
They're
no!
saying it moves like Morbius.
Oh no! Weezer say it ain't so. Oh no!
Yeah. That's what I'm getting from the reviews right now. I haven't seen the movie either, but it was also made, the script was written by the same person, which I don't think is fair because a lot of the reviews are taking the woman director route of where the blame is going. And the fact that the story is centered around was it 3 or 4 women?
I think it's 4.
Yeah, the fact that this movie is centered around these women, and they're just putting that's where the blame game is being directed, and I don't think that's fair because they're saying that everything good I've heard about it isn't the script, and I think that's a terrible script can make or break a movie. Like, imagine if
Very true.
if X-Men 3 had a good script.
Just imagine that. Just take a moment, y'all. It would have been fantastic.
So I think I'm gonna go see. They keep taking these existing IPs or something. They're trying to milk them dry, trying to make nut milk out of freaking, a Spider-Man character, like a select few Spider-Man characters with 0 Spider-Man involved, and it's just not. It's not worth it.
It's a bold choice. I don't think it's the correct choice, but it is a bold one. I guess I have to give them that at least. I don't know. We're going to see how it turns out. Man, moving right along here. Gotta talk about this tidbit in the news. This affects all of us in the anime community. In general, I think it affects all of us who deal in media and TV shows and movies. Let's talk about the whole Funimation Crunchyroll finessing that took place last week. So last week, Funimation had kind of merged with Crunchyroll back in like 2022 or whatever, but they still kept the separate apps and stuff rolling. Well, last week they finally announced, hey, we're closing down the Funimation app. Finally move, everything's going to be on Crunchyroll side. And oh, by the way, if you purchased any of the content, any of the shows or the movies on Funimation, well, that's not going to carry over with you to Crunchyroll. You're just going to lose that.
Can you dig that sucker?
Physical media still matters, people.
That's so jacked up, man. Yeah, Caleb got me to collecting Blu-rays real fast one day.
Physical media still matters.
I went down to the McKay's and spent like $50. And if you know what McKay's is, then you know I just came home with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you gotta hit the very nice used book and media store place. But I mean, like this, here's the thing: things like this are going to force us, a lot of us, back into this. You're gonna go back to the physical because I don't have time for you all of a sudden just losing the rights or whatever. And that's really the situation, is that you're telling us that even though we put money down and it was in the buy category, in reality, you're telling me that I'm buying something that you really just have a lease on.
Yeah.
I'll just be having these lease agreements with these movie and publishing, companies.
But nothing happens to y'all if we didn't pay for it and lose stuff.
Right.
Literally nothing happens.
Nothing happens. I mean, y'all don't be selling them cheap or nothing. Ain't no discount rate.
No.
So again, look, get your physical media out here, even though it is getting scarcer. I mean, they just stopped selling DVDs at Best Buy. I mean, let
I
that
thought you said
sink
they
in.
stopped selling Blu-rays.
Yeah, all of it. Blu-rays, 4K, the HD, all that.
No physical media at Best Buy is crazy.
It is, but that's where we're at. That's where we're at. So look, we're gonna be.
They
back
still
on,
have guitars.
No. Look, we're gonna be out here back on this physical media, and hey, I'm gonna be back on these high seas, baby. Take me back to the bay. Take me back to the bay. I'm about to head it back to be a pirate again. I ain't got time for this.
Piracy definitely got me through college.
Yep, and it's gonna get me through again because all these people tripping.
I don't understand how so many YouTubers make so much content without piracy. There ain't no way that all these dudes.
Ain't no way.
There's ain't no way.
How, Sway? Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way. But,
Ain't no way.
right. Well, yeah. So that's some. That is some solid and relevant news. So hey, you might want to go out there and stock up if you will.
Yeah. Physical media revolution. Let's be the change.
Yep. And
Let's make people buy stuff again, y'all.
Yep. But cheaply and affordably. It's price high here, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't make physical media classist.
Man, people love to do that though. We finally got the long-awaited Deadpool 3 trailer. What you think about that, man?
I think that I have to train myself to stop dead naming that movie to Deadpool 3 because it's clearly Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine, yeah.
And we still call it Deadpool 3 without missing a beat. That's everybody. I posted a status. That's not important. Okay. I think it's going to be good. They didn't give away the whole movie in the trailer.
You know what? That was refreshing.
The trailer was mid just because of that. And it's only mid because I'm so used to overstuffed trailers.
It's been a horrible trend.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have to put all of the core of the movie in these trailers, y'all.
You really don't. You don't have to put the story. I feel like I know what's going to happen in Madam Web. Having known who Ezekiel Sims is from the comics for real, and seeing how he's portrayed in the trailer with the few shots, that movie's not 3 hours long, so I think I've got it figured out. Deadpool 3, I've only seen that movie is supposed to be riddled with cameos, littered with all kinds of stuff as far as cameos. It's like a proto Secret Wars.
Yep.
It's like a better version of what we saw in Multiverse of Madness.
True. We already managed to catch one out of that trailer, and we see the homie Pyro.
Yeah, and I'm glad he's the only one I saw in there. You know, I don't need to see
It's nice.
everybody from every last old X-Men movie possible. I don't need to see, you know, I've seen all the set photos I need to see, all the photo set leaks and stuff like that. I don't need to see any more. I've gotten this one trailer.
Let me be surprised.
Seems like they show us how the movie opens, show us the TVA to connect us to the MCU Prime.
Yep.
And then they show us Hugh Jackman at the very tail end of it. Cool. I'll see the rest when I get there.
Yep. I will see you there in July.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was cool. It was very cool. Moving along, our next segment here for this new situation is called Music Throwback. This is a time where we want to reminisce and bring up an old album. It could be oldie but goodie. It could have been on the underrated tip, you know, diamond in the rough, if you will. But this is something we want to give a little shine to because we can, and also because we're millennials that are partially fueled by nostalgia.
And we're musicians.
So I mean, why not? Like that's it's fun. So for our first music throwback, with it being February 24 is Black History Month, so we gotta talk about something black, of course. The album we've selected for this episode is Living Colors Vivid.
Yeah. Key tracks and Open Letter to a Landlord.
That's a great one. Great song. I mean, look, this album did a lot of heavy lifting.
Sure did.
It did a lot of heavy lifting, and you know what? It shouldn't have had to. That's something that, you know, it shouldn't not have had to have been in that situation to do. But that was a situation, and it went there, and we're thankful that it did. I mean,
Open Letter to a Landlord is the key track.
Open Letter to a Landlord is the key track. Outside of, you know, Cult Personality, I did really like Which Way to America. I always kind of thought that was a really cool song as well. But again, the whole album is full of bangers, full of fire riffs and solos.
Vernon.
Vernon. I mean, this to come out in '88. It really was doing a great job of kind of showing you the tail end of that '80s metal rock side of things, but it was already going into the '90s sound already. But I mean, they don't want to talk about that though.
No, they don't.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's well recorded, and I was like, I'd love to know who produced that album in general, but it sounds real good for '88. But yeah, the band has still been able to, you know, have some relevancy. I think it's really just been focused around Cult of Personality, and we kind of
Mick Jagger.
Well, that's wild
Yeah.
Mick Jagger.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even going front. I know a lot about this kind of shit. I didn't know that.
I did not know.
I didn't know that at all.
Look, you're learning things as we learn things here. Sometimes even. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, like I said, Cult of Personality always, that song will always keep the band somewhat relevant, especially when it gets, it's still used in other arenas. Like they still play it, in football stadiums during in between times. You have people like, CM Punk, like in the wrestling world, who that's his entrance music every time he hits the ring. So it still has its own relevancy. But again, to boil Living Color down to that one track is a massive disservice. Go listen to the whole Vivid album. Moving on, our next segment called "They Said What Now." They said what now? This is
probably my favorite one.
Yeah, it really. I think it's going to end up becoming one of my favorite ones. This is just really a little vent session where we can bring up some of the stupid things that we see people saying out here on the comment sections and whatnot. The TikTok comment sections, the Facebook groups, on Twitter, all this ridiculous stuff of people saying things seemingly with no idea what they're actually trying to say, or what their intent is. It's simple. Get it started.
They're real bad. They're good for it, but they're very bad about it.
Right.
When I say I'm good for it, I mean like that's why I was worried about the Madam Web takes. Because they're gonna.
I mean, it's like you feel like some of them are already probably preloaded. Some of them are already preloaded. That's a huge pet peeve. That's a huge pet peeve I have. This, for this whole section of that, they said what now is the fact that we're in this era of everybody's just gonna talk wild shit about the project when they literally haven't seen anything, even seen it yet or anything, and all y'all seen it, y'all dusty, and y'all ain't got no clout or juice. So I know you're not getting into these early screenings and whatnot. So what is it based in? But y'all stay doing that. Y'all said y'all did that with the Marvels, right? And then what happened? The Marvels came out on Disney Plus, and all of a sudden people were like, "Oh, This movie's actually good.
We went to see the movie and actually enjoyed it.
We did.
We're not fucking casuals.
Yeah. Just went, made our own decisions.
We're secure in our masculinity. We both live around women, and it's not going to fuck us up to go see a movie about women. Like I grew up with Waiting to Exhale, so
right.
A movie like The Marvels ain't gonna do it to me, but
it's really not. But a whole bunch of y'all were really like, a whole bunch of y'all in particular were real quick to hop off the train and talk about the fall off of a movie that hadn't even came out yet, just because you knew it wasn't centered around male. Like,
yeah.
What we talking about, bro? Mm-hmm. What we talking about, bro?
Yeah. Y'all always just appear.
Yeah.
Y'all always just can't help yourselves. You think you ate. You think you gave some kind of mysterious take, but as soon as you say what as soon as you say what you think we can't see through, we already know how you actually feel.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Yeah. So just letting you know, we see y'all on that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now another thing I want to talk about.
Which is the take? Are we gonna get to it?
I will get to this take, and it's actually one that you shared, and it is indicative of a problem. I'm talking about that freaking Superman and Sonic and Flash race.
Because I don't.
They said what I know why you shared it, but it's just like that's an example of the illness that is in the culture.
Because, and you know, we did this before we had AI. It's an AI picture, first of all. I already knew that y'all would be out of pocket with AI before it got
Foretold.
as attractive as it is now.
Foretold.
Back when AI looked like somebody's fever dream, and it was just like a bunch of like Hunter S. Thompson, like Fear and Loathing shit like that.
Yeah.
Like back when
yeah.
AI was just that, I knew y'all was gonna get a hold of it and do the worst. I accepted that a long time ago, but I was still mad that it eventually happened anyway.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
But the problem is y'all aren't creative. If y'all could actually draw, maybe y'all would be creative, but y'all can't, so y'all make stuff like this. And I'm gonna put the picture up in this video.
Yep.
Because for one, y'all get on my nerves when y'all make power scaling matches out of nowhere. And with AI, it's got so much worse. Y'all could just type what y'all want to into a prompter.
Any old thing. Just put any old
Comes
thing
up
in
with
there.
stupid looking fingers and a wrong costume, and then y'all put the most serious captions that are the most unserious thing on earth somehow, but still y'all are somehow very serious. Like it was like he said, it was between Superman, the Flash, and Sonic. And Sonic was like
was
the
Sonic
same
real?
height as them with
Made no sense.
with the six pack, some big ass pecs and like biceps, dude.
He
Like,
had
that's not how that
he
works.
had human length arms and I'm like, when did Sonic ever look like
And there was
that?
a dude in the comments section trying to argue with me, talking about how fast Sonic was, more than Superman or the Flash. And first of all, it doesn't even matter that he's, from a comic book standpoint, from a mythology standpoint of any of those IPs, that's still wrong. But not, especially not if Sonic looks like that. Sonic ain't beat nobody. I don't know if he can run. Not looking like that. They ain't even give him no nice kicks. And stop playing with the Flash with me, y'all. It's one of my favorite comics. Is my favorite mainline superhero. Stop doing that. Ain't nobody outrunning the Flash. Quicksilver
really don't
is not
understand.
outrunning the Flash. I don't care if they did it in the comic where he didn't have access to the Speed Force.
I really
Barry
don't
Allen's
understand
gonna
where
have-
they be getting it from. The like Flash somehow isn't the one when we talk about the speed thing. Like he literally is, like he is him.
Like after the race between the Flash and Quicksilver in the Amalgamation Universe, where they figured out that he was faster, but that Quicksilver was faster because he was running from it. It was physical running, and Barry didn't have access to the Speed Force. After that, Barry literally became the embodiment of the Speed Force. Barry Allen is so fast that Barry Allen ran so fast that he became the lightning bolt that originally gave him powers. He's so fast that he gave himself powers. Okay?
Wild.
Quit playing with me. Superman ain't.
Wild. Yo, Quicksilver ain't ever ran fast enough to reverse time.
No.
He's never done that. Flash done that several times.
Yeah. It's like all of them can do it too. It's like a base Flash power.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be, but hell.
So yeah, that's another.
After a while, writers just get in their bag and be like, let's do it.
That's definitely a subset in they said what now is just, again, thinking that you can really book Flash to lose in a race. Come on.
It's not how the Speed Force works. It's not happening.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah, like when y'all start doing numbers and stuff, I'm like, you've already missed the point.
Yep.
Stop doing that. Quit putting numbers. Quit trying to say no. Sonic is fast because of the chaos energy, right?
It's because of chaos energy
And that's basically like just regular ass energy. That's like ki or something, right? That's what turns him into like Super Saiyan Goku, right? Or Vegeta, right?
Yeah, look, I mean, again, he's fast, but the thing runs off chili dogs. Okay, chill out, y'all.
Both of them. That's not Barry Allen run off chili dog.
Yeah. Y'all gotta let it go. Let the AI, let the crazy AI battles down. Let all that go.
That. And quit misusing AI.
Please
do something creative with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was like, that was a good laugh. That was a good laugh. I needed that. I needed the laugh, and we needed to get that off of the chest, if you will.
Because I don't like them.
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it. All right, so look, moving into this last thing on the, they said what now here. I shared something with you earlier today, Ping, about Madam Web, kind of, but it was really kind of related to Marvel and Sony projects related to women.
Yeah.
And basically what it says here, for the people that be listening to this on the pure pod side of things, somebody was on Twitter and they basically was out here saying, you know, yo, hate to say it, but with Madam Web coming out to offer reviews, I fear with the combo of She-Hulk, the Marvels, and Madam Web, that Marvel is set back female-led, you know, characters 20 years, and we're going to see less of them. And then, he says, the main reason is they don't give them the same TLC as Captain America, Wolverine, or Spidey.
For starters, 20 years is a bit much.
What
are you really trying to say?
It's quite dramatic.
What are you really trying to say?
It's quite dramatic.
Yeah, that's 20 years. He said they set female-led comic book movies back 20 years. How long ago, when did that Halle Berry Catwoman movie come out?
Oh, man. I mean, now it's been a little over about 20 years now.
They didn't set them back to that. Like, come on now.
I mean, look.
You act like we really had some kind of renaissance or abundance of female-led comic book movies that long ago.
Yeah,
like there were that many.
Like
you had like some kind of standard that was there 20. There was no standard for female-led movies. Female-led comic book movies 20 years ago, because there was no standard for comic book movies 20 years ago. There were barely even comic book movies 20 years ago. We definitely didn't have them in this capacity.
Yep. Still very new territory.
I agree that they didn't give them the same love as Captain America, Logan, and or Spider-Man, not because it's woman focused. Because of even that take, you're blaming something else. You're not blaming what you think you're blaming. You're blaming what I'm bringing up right now, and that's this sort of fast food-esque capitalist way they put out movies all the time now, and that's the issue. Morty,
Yep.
Go. You're blaming the way they pump out movies these days, especially comic book IPs, where they don't put any kind of TLC into it like they did when they were hungry.
Right. Yeah. That's true. We've all noticed the recipe has changed, or at the very least, it seems like they're using lesser quality ingredients.
Yeah.
To cook the
same. So
it's
unfair to blame the gender of of a certain of a certain group of projects when Sam Jackson was the lead of Secret Invasion.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Ezra Miller was the lead of The Flash.
It doesn't work. Also, I think it's something worth noting, too, that, hey, those other three characters you lifted up, Captain America and Wolverine and Spider-Man, they already come in to the movie side of things with more weight to them because they're already more popular, established characters in general.
Yeah.
So, like, of course you're going.
Spider-Man's the most popular comic book character in existence.
Right. Wolverine is right up there. So, like, of course, when you decided that, when they decided that we're going to do this and, start dipping their toes into the Marvel hero waters, you're going to go with what's already successful. They're not, they're not going to just pull, from.
Spider-Man's got 10 movies.
Right. I'm just gonna pull from the mid shelf to start rolling out things. They went for people that they knew already had big fan bases and big followings. I think so. It's definitely more based upon that. Also, it's conveniently left Wakanda Forever and Shuri and that whole thing out of the situation there.
Which it's not immune from that kind of criticism because on my timeline there was a whole lot of the lack of strong black male presence in this film.
Oh man! And
I'm just saying
the Grand Rising crew, Rising crew.
You keep your hotepery. When you keep your hotepery, like it's nothing sacred. Goddamn.
Yo, the answer is no. The answer is no.
No, not at all. But yeah, that's just a whack take. That's what you were talking about earlier. Like these dudes have no idea what they're talking about. They try to assert this mysterious air of like this sort of intellectual high ground when it comes to these things and sort of move it into what they feel about modern quote unquote social politics and shit like that. And then they try to say they don't want it to be political, but that's all they end up talking about in the first place.
Either they do that or they blame it on, capitalism and best for business. When no, in reality, you just want to use either one of those options as a way to just still sneak in the fact that you don't really like women like that. In general.
Yeah.
And this is just what you believe is enough justification to be like, see, I'm right.
Yeah, don't get mad at woke Marvel because first of all, you're using the word woke wrong. Woke is supposed to mean a heightened sense of awareness. And if you're mad that Marvel is more socially progressive all of a sudden, then you haven't been paying attention. Because Stan Lee wrote about this in like the 70s, telling y'all to shut up.
Yeah, that's true, man. So, rolling into the kind of the last topic at hand. If you haven't already checked it out, your boy Ping dropped off a very nice TikTok video talking about black kids and rock music.
Yeah.
And you know what? Matter of fact, maybe we'll even drop that in right here
There you go.
so that people can look at it. I mean, again, excellent work with the video, my guy. I mean, I thought we needed to show it here, and also I think it was worthy of us having a little further discussion about it, man.
I feel like we would probably have more time to get into it, get even deeper than we would right now into a different pod. But the basic idea of that video, it's a sort of compilation of a lot of things I've been researching and taking in over a number of years. And there's this, we've made a video about it ourselves before called The Whole Time. We're going to make an updated version of that as well. But there's this strange notion that black kids just don't like rock and roll, and history proves that to be wholly false. And this culprit is the culprit is always this imaginary other that's riddled with this lack of sophistication because they like hip hop instead of rock because rock is white and hip hop isn't. And that's a lie, and it's only there to have to let people assert that black people are somehow more primitive,
right?
Because they don't like rock
more
music.
primitive, less cultured.
And a lot of black people like to turn that on a lot of other black people because they feel like they're special for liking rock music, and I have to let them know you aren't. We've been here for a long time.
Definitely step on some toes with that.
Yeah,
definitely step on some toes with that. But that has to be said too. Man, you know what? I think we already just figured out what we really gonna drop off into for the next episode of this pod. This is gonna be a beautiful thing. If you liked how this felt and how this flowed, holler at us. Let us know on our socials. Hit us up in the comment section on this. You know, we still got the usual stuff.
Yeah.
Ping Rose plays and Caleb be talking. But look, until the next time you see us here doing one of these, or we drop another video in general, take it easy, everybody.
We'll see y'all.